A game receiving a new game mode and going free to play would generally be seen as a positive thing. But not so in Counter-Strike, it seems. I skimmed through the last 100 comments on my previous video about the update, and the negative comments far outnumbered the positive ones. Right now, Valve must be thinking, are you not entertained? Although this Battle Royale mode for Counter-Strike had been greatly anticipated for years, now that it's out, most of you are left disappointed by its design. Now that it's free, you fear the game will be overrun with cheaters. And apparently most of you bought the game a few days ago and feel hard done by. Everything this update introduced was wrong. Silly Valve. But regardless, this is one of the biggest changes the series has ever seen. And this is Valve right now. Are you not entertained? Because how can they not be thinking this? Don't be mistaken, these updates weren't released out of the goodness of their hearts. Making it free to play and creating a Battle Royale mode were both smart ways of attracting new people to the game. Don't forget, we've also been complaining for years that this game is dying. Valve is a business, not a charity, I get that. But I think people forget that the company is made up of individuals. Hundreds of highly talented people with a passion for gaming. You don't work for Valve otherwise. Do you honestly think they're sat around their movable desks, giggling as they think up the next way to disappoint their fanbase? No, they have released dozens of sizable updates, which with hindsight were pretty good. But how crushing must it be for them to see their contributions to the games that they love being relentlessly shat on by a community that feels entitled to more. For free. But not for free because, remember, they bought the game last week. For those of you who don't know, Valve deliberately remains quiet. They watch and listen closely to the community, but try not to influence discussions. And I doubt they'll break their vow of silence to seek sympathy. Remember, they're professionals. But I'm not. So I can say this stuff and speculate about how they feel. As an unofficial voice for Valve, they neither have to confirm nor deny. And so I wonder, how can Valve not be disappointed when at every turn they're attacked by the community they produce content for? As a YouTuber, that's certainly one of my worst fears. In fact, what spurred this video on was this lovely little comment, suggesting that because I'm positive about the latest update, I must be on Valve's paycheck or something. I'm not too upset about this comment. I receive far worse. Plus I'd love to be on Valve's paycheck. But I think it nicely demonstrates the problem with this community. It's fine to be critical. It means you must be knowledgeable and know better than Valve does. But to be positive? Surely I can't be trusted. I've wanted to talk about my side of this for a while. As a YouTuber, while I can say whatever I like, there are consequences for doing so. Although I've never discussed it with Valve, I have often thought about my connection I have with them, particularly as my audience has grown into a considerable size. By making content about their games, what I say inevitably influences what you think about them. If you care enough about my content to watch it, my videos will influence how you think in some way. Maybe not by much. But if me being positive about something results in you enjoying something that you otherwise wouldn't have tried, or serves as that push that you needed to share your own opinions about it, good. This responsibility is one of the reasons why I try to be more positive than I am negative. If I dislike something, I'll say. I won't lie to you. But if I like something, I'll tell you. Even if I'm indifferent about something, I won't criticize it. Either I won't talk about it at all, or I'll try to see the positives. Because even if I don't see the appeal, I'll try to understand why others might. If my viewers discover something new that they enjoy because of it, I feel I've had a positive influence on the community. I refuse to jump on the hate bandwagon simply to stir things up. I won't name individuals, but I know that some large YouTubers and streamers seemingly have an extreme opinion about everything. Normally within seconds of learning about it for the first time. This, to me, is incredible. I have no idea how somebody can immediately be so confident about something that is really complicated and nuanced. Like with Battle Royale, even after I've played it for several hours, even then I'm not confident enough to have a strong opinion about it. I suspect it could be weeks or even months before the Battle Royale game mode is tested enough by the community to be fairly judged. And once we've reached that point, updates can begin rolling out to address the problems. Does that sound reasonable? Is there anybody out there who's seriously proposing that the entire game mode should be scrapped? End of story. How about the free-to-play aspect? Has that caused irreversible damage to the game? Are our existing safeguards such as Overwatch and Trust Factor enough to protect us for now, with adjustments to the system in the near future being enough to remedy any emerging problems? I guess, for streamers in particular, having a strong opinion about everything is seen as a strength of character, and being overly negative is cool and edgy. But it's when their viewers blindly adopt these opinions as their own that it causes problems. Like how every update Counter-Strike receives is met with negativity. Does everybody really feel this strongly about it? What would it take to make them happy? I get it, it's fun to hate something. I've been guilty of visiting subreddits that make me feel shock, disgust and hatred, and I see the twisted appeal to it. But why would you do this to a game that you love? Or at people who are genuinely making stuff for you to enjoy? That doesn't seem right. Maybe the problem doesn't lie with the game devs. Maybe, if every update is bad, then the problem is you. To tell you the truth, I don't enjoy doing what I do as much as I used to. Back when Global Offensive was new, up and coming, everything about it was exciting. Each new match was an adventure. But inevitably, 1,000 games and 500 videos later, everything starts to feel a bit samey. And the same with playing the game. You wonder why that game you played today wasn't as good as the old days? That's because you're comparing it to the skimmed highlights from hundreds of earlier matches, now further sweetened with nostalgia. Think long and hard about whether criticism to updates is fair, and whether it's time you moved on from the game that can do nothing right. I'm not ready to move on just yet. I don't want to only look back fondly at the good old days. I like to look forward to the future, and a new game mode like Battle Royale is a perfect chance to start racking up memories for next year's nostalgia. I've been critical of the community, but there is hope. Despite an early, popular post on Reddit full of criticism, another appeared a bit later full of praise and constructive criticism. But there were also genuine problems that needed addressing, like crashing on certain hardware and a smoke bug that let people cheat in normal game modes. And thanks to constructive criticism, and users submitting their bug reports, these have been addressed by Valve in under 24 hours. I suspect remaining problems, if known, will also quickly be fixed. I propose this. The next time CSGO receives an update, rather than to blindly leap on the hate bandwagon, stop, take a step back and try to see the positives. Okay, so you don't like Battle Royale. I'm still here playing Counter-Strike because I prefer it to that genre as well. But just because I prefer it, doesn't mean I won't play anything else. This is what I didn't get when PUBG and Fortnite came out. People thought that it would kill Counter-Strike. But you are allowed to play more than one game. And you're able to play more than one game mode too. CSGO now has Battle Royale if I want it. And I probably will occasionally play it with friends. You may be annoyed that you paid for a game and didn't get unranked matchmaking in this update, but nothing's stopping you from making a new account to play with your friends. As many accounts as you'd like, in fact. I've talked about a lot of things in this video, but it can be boiled down to something very simple. There's too much negativity online as it is, but I don't think it's helping anybody. Keep an open mind to change. If you criticise, be constructive about it, and find a way to be entertained.